All right. So right now I am starting the show. There's always a little bit of lag time at the beginning, so hopefully I'll just talk and yak a bit so I make sure it's working right. All right, so welcome to whatever episode number this is. I have no idea. Sight Reading Maverick. This is where I spend an hour sight reading music that people have sent to me. Mostly they're requests of music that is on IMSLP, which is a fantastic resource if you don't already know them. And then also I've started a new thing where I'm encouraging composers to send me their pieces if they dare, and if they think that they're mildly sight readable. And I'm doing this because I realize how difficult it can be for composers to find people to play their compositions. And although this is not a performance situation, please remember this is not a performance situation. Hopefully at least it will be fun for everybody and help people to get exposed to some new music. So I'm going to do one of those today. Very excited about it, but more about that later. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. The first selection was requested by Louis, who I know is watching. Hi, Louis and Helene. And their first request was a waltz called Mignon, and this is by G.F. Alice Lagarde. And if you're curious and want to follow along the scores, especially for these pieces in IMSLP, if you look below the video that you're watching right now, you will find links to all the compositions in IMSLP. So you can follow along and see how many notes I leave out or miss or get correctly too. All right, we've got a waltz, so obviously 3/4, A major, and very typical waltz left hand, which is going to last throughout the entire piece. So the melodic material will be in the right hand primarily. What else can I say? Looks like we have eighth notes are our fastest note value. We've also got dotted rhythms, but your typical waltz dotted quarter note, eighth note. Does have repeats, goes back to the beginning. I'm trying to find where the end is because that's something that often gets left out, is where the end is. Oh, and of course it doesn't tell me where the end is. That's charming. Ah, there it is. Okay. I lied. It's just very sneaky how they indicated it. All right, so to choose a tempo, oh, and there are a few triplet eighth notes. So 1, 2, 3. I think I'm a little bit fast. Yada-da-da-dum-bum. All right, 1, 1. charming. Oh, Inca Warrior commented, it's a sweet waltz. It's like Spain meets Austria. I was thinking the exact same thing. Yeah, so much fun. Kind of your typical lovely waltz. A great one to sight read, actually. Very doable. I did forget to go back to A major when I did the return. In case you hadn't noticed, I was very puzzled because sometimes when you go back, especially in a waltz and there's an introduction, I never know if I should play the introduction again. So kind of silly. And Louis says, yes, he's imagining people dancing. Absolutely. Really charming. So thanks for that recommendation, Louis and Helene. All right, next on the docket, I'm going to another one of Louis' requests, which I have to be honest, I was a little concerned because I saw Debussy Preludes and I was like, oh no. I love the Debussy Preludes, but I don't think I've ever performed any in book 2. So I was a little bit nervous about this because sometimes Debussy can be a little trickier to sight read, at least for me. You've got different modes going than we are typically accustomed to. I'm not good at just riffing on, whole tone scales, although it's not that difficult to do. But anyway, so hopefully I'll do these justice. The first one he requested, again, this is book 2. This is Bruyères, I guess, which means calm. I did look that up. I thought I should know what these mean because that's a really important thing when sight reading, actually. It's good to look at the title, especially if there's a descriptive title. Because obviously if this one is called calm, I am not going to do this at a very fast clip, right? So ideal. Of course, it does also say that at the beginning of this. It says doucement expressif, quarter note equals 66. That's a giveaway too, but anyway. All right, 4 flats, another one in 3/4. So I think it's A flat major. As I scan this first page, there's lots of A flat major chords in here. Typical Debussy, we've got 3 lines here to read much of the time. But as daunting as that sounds, Debussy had a reason to do that. It doesn't necessarily mean it's more difficult. It's just his way of delineating the textures. So hopefully I can pull this off. It looks like it repeats a lot of the same motives. We've got a lot of these downward scales. So a lot of stepwise motion in here. Then we do have some gestures that are a little harder. But I'm just going to go for the gesture, quite honestly. Some interesting rhythm here. We've got some 30-second notes. That's kind of like around 60. So I'm just going to kind of make sure I have an idea of that rhythm. All right, changes key on like the 3rd-ish page. We go to B flat major. Un peu animé, so a little bit more animated. If I'm reading okay, I'll do that. If I'm not reading okay, I'm totally justified in my mind to not go any more anime. But I'll try. All right. So I'm trying to hear all the different rhythmic subdivisions. Yum, ba 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 bum bum. We're going to try this tempo. So I wasn't so successful at navigating the key changes in that one. And I was also not looking ahead enough, which I'm realizing that especially when you're reading these three staves, that's really, really helpful to actually do more looking ahead. But alas. But hopefully I got some of the spirit of the piece. All right, the next one is Canope. I don't know how to say it. It translates to canopic jar, and I'm hoping I'm saying that correctly too, but it's those Egyptian, I think that's what they are, those Egyptian bottles that they put like in Egypt when they buried somebody and took out their organs. I think they put the organs in the jars. So I don't know how that translates into musical form. We will find out thanks to Debussy here. Another 3-line one. Yay! Gulp. So I'm going to try looking ahead more this time. 3/4 F major, it looks like. This one actually doesn't give any tempo indications, so I'm going to have to kind of make this up. There's a lot of gestures that are fast, but they are all similar. They all go up. We've got some dotted rhythms. Okay, here's a really hairy passage on the 3rd page. So I'm going to do a quick analysis, chromatic motion, right, in the left hand. So I think what I'm going to have to do, because it's a little hairy, is I'm probably going to focus largely on the top line of this right-hand part and just do a lot of hoping. Some interesting rhythms on the last page. And a lot of tempo changes in this. So, lots to account for. So let's just try it and see what happens. Tempo. I think I'm going to try this. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you know what? Oh my gosh, I was looking at the wrong one. Great. All right, we're going to go. I'm just going to go ahead and read this. Let's see. So number 10 is the one I wanted. It says, very calm and doucement triste. Oh, that sounds much better. Still 3 lines. The rhythms are more simple. Okay, last page. So interesting, it's kind of a combination of chromatic, and it also has some harmonic minor in there. I'm going to base this on triplets. 3, 4, 1. All right, a lot of pedal squeaking going on, and I'm getting very distracted. But that was beautiful. This is one I would like to explore a little bit more once I understood it. I feel like there are a lot of chords that I left notes out of simply because of the spread of the like the left hand. So there would have to be a lot of redistribution going on in order to actually perform that and do it justice. It is what it is. All right, thank you, Louis, for recommending those two. I feel a little bit better now to get the Debussy out of the way. Nice challenge. All right, next on the program is one that I chose, and it is a ballad by, it's called Balletto, or a dance by Mary Bowden. Mary Bowden was, there's really not much information about her, but I am gleaning that she's from Australia, or was from Australia. Sorry about that. This is her Balletto, Opus 12, Andante Sentimentale. That's helpful. I love Andantes. 4/4, and it looks like we're going to be in D major. Little bit of an introduction. That's the part marked Andante Sentimentale. We've got a little bit of a cadenza at the beginning, but it's especially with cadenzas, I'm always looking for repeated patterns. They're all over the place. So this one. So once you get the idea of the pattern, I just focus on the first note of each foursome or of the pattern, and that helps. Then fermata poco più mosso. And then it's going to change tempo, go to G major, and we're going to have a hand crossing situation. So that's good to know about. And that kind of happens off and on throughout this major section. And then it goes back to the beginning, not surprisingly. Okay, so we've got 16th notes. And there's a presto at the end. Yeah, right. So okay, the introduction I'm not too worried about. Let's find a tempo for the... This sounds very interesting. I don't know. Just sounds very cute. So when we get to that section, I'll probably try to do 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3. Sorry, my daughter's cutting in an apple and I just got freaked out. Okay. Yeah, that was crazy. And I did it like in the wrong key at the beginning. But that's okay. It was kind of cute. It had some cute moments. I definitely should have noticed that there's a really crazy rhythm in there in the major section or in the middle section. So I want to find out what it is. 1 and 2. One and 2 and 3. It's actually not that complicated. It's just the way it's notated made it look very syncopated, which it's not. So now I know. All right, next on the program, we have a lot of short pieces right now. Next is something different. So this is a composition that was sent to me by James Banner, who I believe is watching. So I saw him say hello earlier on. So James, I believe, currently lives in Berlin. James can correct us if I'm wrong about that. But he was born in the UK, and he, I think, is a bass player. And he does a lot of improvisational playing and composing. So, so I did a little bit of scouting him out before I decided to film today. He has a website, so maybe if he feels like sharing it, he can do that in the chat box. Anyway, so he responded to my query if an offer to go ahead and sight read people's compositions if they dared. So he sent one to me this week, so I'm really excited to be able to do this. And so he sent me 2 pieces, one of which was for toy piano, which I don't have a toy piano that's big enough to play his piece. So instead I chose his Bagatelle number 1. So I'm assuming there's more than one, James? And he said correct. So yes, I think he's in Berlin. Anyway, okay, so this is a new experience. I don't know what year he wrote this in, but let's look at this. It's in 3/4. He marks that a quarter note equals 150. That will probably not happen today. I'm sorry, James. And what I'm gleaning is that the left hand has a very repetitive pattern. And it looks like that runs through much of it. But it does change. Here. So I'm going to try to remember that. Yeah, we've got a G flat running throughout the first part, but then it alternates. Okay. Then we do get another section that starts in measure 70, which you can't see, sorry. The left hand goes out of that mode and we get this motivic thing. What I'm looking for right now quickly is to see, are they all whole notes, half notes, a mix? And it actually looks like they're in groups of 2, they're all whole notes. So that's something I can store in my brain as well to help. So I'm not necessarily going to be reading each note. I'll just read the first note and tell myself whole step. We'll see if that works. We've got some whole tone stuff in here. Whether or not I'll remember that is different. Okay, at the end, it looks like there's a repeat, 3 measures that repeat. I see, and I just crescendo through all the repeats. That's good to know. Oh, and then the last notes are really low on the piano. There are so many ledger lines, I'm not going to count them. I think I'm just going to guess that it's at the bottom of the piano. So we'll see. Whole note again. All right, let's try it. Tempo. Let's see, what is 150? That's 120. So I'm not going to do it that slow. I really like this tempo. Now I'm going to scan and see if that works for the rest of it. We're going to try that. I might have to slow it down. We'll see. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So James, that was a really fun piece. Oh, I like how he wrote that, ad libitum. Yes, that I did, in case you didn't know. Luckily, you didn't have the score, all of you, except for James. So only James and I know what I just completely made up. James, that's a really fun piece. It's I hope I sort of chose a decent tempo. Very, very playful. And I like that. There's so many subtleties in there that I wish I could have captured, but that would be something to explore as we go down the road. And yeah, but really a fun piece. So, and I like the textures and that type of thing. So thank you for sharing your piece with us, James. Really appreciate it. All right, now on to something completely different. My dear friend Sandra, who is my partner in crime over at Piano Music She Wrote, sent me a suggestion because Christmas is right around the corner. So she found a piece on IMSLP written by Emmy, Schäfer, Klein. It's called The Christmas Album. And we know nothing about this composer. There's nothing that I could find, but it's a set of pieces all based around Christmas. So what better time? The first movement is called Child's Dream. And I think, let's see, what else is on the program? I think because of time, I'm gonna go ahead and not narrate quite as much. I'll do a little bit though. 4/4 G major allegretto. There's a contrasting middle section, but it's still in G major. And then it goes back to the kind of Christmassy one. So Child's Dream, G major, so it must be a good dream, right? Marked quarter note equals 132. And I think fastest note value are eighth notes. The next one is called March of the Magi. Am I going to do that one? Yeah, why not? It's Christmas. I'll just play. Scanning it a little bit. Okay. around the Christmas tree. Oh, Sandra's here. Hey, Sandra. Yeah, I have some more to do. I don't know. I'm going to play a few more at least. So this is Allegro Vivo. So I am going to throw caution to the wind now, and I am just going to play. Oh, there's going to be a surprise in the middle, everyone. I'm so excited. Okay, I'm not going to say any more. I'm just going to throw caution to the wind again. I think Sandra caught the middle surprise. I'm sure all of you did, actually. That was fun. Okay. There's a few more in here. I'm trying to see which one I want to do. If I can tell if there's one that's better than another. I always hate to say that. I'm not going to do the last one. Let's see. It's between the young violinist and my first doll. I think we're going to do the young violinist. Oh, maybe not. It's a polka. I'm not a big polka fan. Okay, we're going to do the doll one, I guess. F major. 2/4. Scherzando con grazia. Lot of 16th notes. The middle section goes into G minor, or B flat, no, B flat, sorry. I was hoping G minor, I love G minor. another nice sweet one. Inca Warrior said, these are great student pieces. I totally agree. And I think it's fun. You could bring them out at Christmas time, and it'd be great for an end of the semester recital, especially once we're meeting back in person again. Or you could share it amongst the studio so each student does one. Could be a lot of fun. All right, for now I'm going to move on though. There are 2 more in that set, should you wish to check that out. And again, the link is right below. All right, the next piece is by Alfred Jaël, and he was the husband of a composer for whom I've started learning about, Marie Jaël. They were a husband and wife concertizing piano duo, both fine pianists, it's very evident. And he actually collaborated with Wieniawski on the Beethoven's Kreutzer Sonata all around the United States. So a fine pianist. And this is his Romanzetta. So again, now because of time issues, I'm just going to read. So let's see how this is. It's quite short. Andante con semplicità. I like that. I'm fearful that my pedal is getting annoying. Luckily, I'm getting my piano tuned and taken care of this week. Tough maneuvering of the pedal there at the end. I really liked that. I mean, it's very simple. I wouldn't say it's anything profound, but it's really quite nice. So I enjoyed playing that, and it's would actually make a good student piece too, I think, in the idea of you're really actually developing a left-hand sense of melody and tone, and having the right hand instead do the more accompanimental pattern. So that would be good too. All right, last but not least is what I'm hoping is a fun piece by Hummel, and this is his fantasy or fantasina on a melody from Marriage of Figaro. So we'll see how this goes. We're just gonna have fun. And this bench and my piano are driving me crazy. sorry. My gosh. Okay, that was really crazy to play, but I kind of like it anyway in a very, I don't know, whatever. Again, it's not a very profound piece, but I love that opera, so I wanted to play it. So that was fun. I hope you enjoyed it. Sandra said lots of Mozart. It is. It is a lot of Mozart, but it is fun to play too. So thank you for joining me today. I want to just end by saying, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever holiday you celebrate. And I guess, let's see, I guess I'll be doing another show before the New Year, so I won't say Happy New Year yet. But if you're celebrating this week, please have a very happy holiday, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks, James, if you're still on. Thank you again for letting me play your piece and for entrusting that to me in some odd, small degree. So have a good week, and I will talk to you all later. Send me your requests.